Okay, so we've already had one recorded lesson this semester. You know how this works. Get something to write with and on and have your textbook handy. This lesson is designed to give us a head start on Chapter 8 so that we have class time for all your Jeopardy list concepts and an interactive team competition. Notice we have switched age categories and moved to a new developmental period, early childhood, which encompasses ages 2 to 6. There are 4 goals for this chapter, and we are going to focus on 2 in this lesson. Number 1 on physical development, and number 3 on motor development. And when we compare infant growth to that of early childhood, body differences are pretty obvious. Height and weight increase greatly. If you have children of your own or younger siblings, family members, you know that during these years, children outgrow clothes faster than you can cut the tags off them. Proportions are shifting as children slim down, the lower body lengthens, and all that baby fat turns to muscle. Body and brain continue to develop according to epigenetic forces. Now, by the time a child reaches the end of early childhood, age 6, he or she should be between 40 to 50 pounds and approximately 3.5 feet tall. These are norms. The child typically looks lean and not chubby and has adult-like proportions. One problem that we're facing today is childhood obesity, which is often connected to poor nutrition and unhealthy habits. See page 242 for contributing factors. Obesity can lead to even more problems as an adult, including decreased functioning of the immune system, and we will talk more about obesity in Chapter 11. One thing we may fail to consider is that children at this age have smaller appetites and need fewer calories per pound, yet we still encourage cleaning your plate and indulge in many high-calorie yet nutrient-poor foods. Additionally, children's diets are lacking in key vitamins and minerals such as iron, zinc, and calcium. And it's not enough to toss a Flintstones vitamin at a child and think that you've solved the problem. Children actually need a variety of foods to get the nutrients they need. Another problem is that children consume too much sugar, and the primary source is sweetened beverages such as juices. All of this is tied to oral health because too much sugar and too little fiber intake results in tooth decay. Check out the consequences of poor oral health on page 244 and think about how this relates to Jeannie. Let's move on to motor development. Turn to page 255 where you will see examples of motor skills broken down by age. I want you to reflect on what you saw in the movie about Jeannie. How was her motor development affected? Did you notice her atypical gait and posture? All of this can be traced back to her restricted movement, like confinement to a potty chair or crib, and no opportunity to develop muscles or motor skills. There are 3 things required as the foundation for all motor skills: brain maturation, motivation, and guided practice. Having the opportunity to play outside or play actively also helps build these important skills. Specifically, the brain areas that are involved in physical coordination include the prefrontal cortex, the corpus callosum, and lateralization of the brain. Now, we'll talk more about these structures and lateralization during our in-class lesson. Today, gross motor skills are affected by environmental hazards and lack of safe places to play outside. You've probably heard your grandparents talk about spending the whole day outside all summer long with not a care in the world. It's not like that for today's children. Fine motor skills are harder to master and require patience in addition to muscle control. Examples would be whistling, winking, writing, pouring juice into a glass, and cutting food. These skills require muscular control, patience, and judgment. And many of our fine motor skills involve both hands, so both sides of the brain are involved. Practice and maturation are key. Keep in mind that myelination is a lifelong process, and the corpus callosum is still undergoing myelination. This is often why children struggle with fine motor skills. Be patient with children. Their brains are still maturing. Research also shows us that fine motor skills are related to later school performance. One more thing, while we're on the subject of fine motor skills, this is a good time to mention that children enjoy expressing themselves through art. They are not yet critical of themselves, so they're proud of what they accomplish. As mentioned on page 260, all forms of artistic expression blossom during the early childhood years. And a child's artwork is a form of communication, a way for them to express their thoughts and emotion. You can tell a lot about what a child is thinking or feeling by what they've drawn and how they've drawn the picture. There are 2 videos you need to watch in relation to children and artistic expression: the drawing test and how playing an instrument benefits your brain. This concludes your lesson on learning objectives 1 and 3. We'll focus on the remaining objectives tied to your Jeopardy list concepts in class as the schedule of instruction outlines. Please let me know if you have questions or need clarification. I'm happy to assist you.